Again. All right.
Oh, that line wasn't recorded. Damn. That was a good one.
No, it was not.
Zoom's got it though, right?
What's that? Yeah,
Zoom's
zoom in.
got it though. Yeah, there we go.
All right. Welcome back to the Pop 5 podcast. It has been a long time coming since we have been here, and it is certainly a time to bring it back. My name is Mark Zick, also known as Groovy Dude, and with me is my little brother of a cousin, Dan Healy Rose, also known as Fear the Gaming Dead. You can see our little gamer tags there. We are here to discuss all things pop culture with some sports and politics sprinkled in. We hope that you will enjoy yourself and come back for more each week. Now, I'm going to go ahead and turn things over to Dan at this time. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello there. I am Dan, and to those of you who sail the Sea of Thieves, fear the gaming dead. I was raised on Rugrats, Power Rangers, and Super Nintendo. Y'all that think Dark Souls is hard, clearly you have never played Super Nintendo's Empire Strikes Back, Zombie Ate My Neighbors, or Lion King. I grew up in the before four times of no cell phones, no social media, streetlight curfews, and dial-up. Y'all merely adopted the lag. I was born into it. These days I'm fueled by great shows like Invincible, 90 Day Fiancé, amazing games like D&D, Battlefront, Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm here to give you my perspective and hopefully introduce you to a few new things.
Well, thank you very much for that introduction. Only a few odd looks from me there, but that's completely understandable with some of that mix.
This being recorded with face, you're going to get some odd looks throughout. Well, yeah, there's going to be a lot of odd looks throughout this whole way.
Get used to it. Now, I've always felt that the aspects of pop culture have raised me more than my actual family. I grew up on video games, Sonic and Mortal Kombat, more specifically, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Actually won that at a craft fair in middle school. Can you believe that? Also watching movies like Wayne's World and Mask of Zorro, and watching movies like The Simpsons, that 70s show. And I've considered myself an actor as well. I've been in a number of plays and musicals. I've always wanted to find a way to reach people and entertain them, and I'm hoping that this is that way of doing just that. So here we go. Welcome back to Pop 5 Podcast. It'll be the two of us each week, and with an occasional guest thrown in. I already have one friend that definitely wants to get in on this, so if we do a top 5 Pokemon episode, which I think we can definitely do.
Is the name start with Paul, I'm assuming?
No, but actually, we might get him on that one too.
Dude, we should. We could probably show him ink blots of Pokemon shapes, and he could get every single one.
Oh, yeah.
We could make a game out of it.
Who's that Pokemon? All right, so without delaying too much longer, let's go ahead and get into our sports update for the week. Now, we are both Massachusetts and New Hampshire natives, so we're going to be gearing more towards the New England teams with an occasional Dallas Cowboys update thrown in.
I was going to say that I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, of course. Anyone who knows me knows that they're America's team. They always have been. They always will be. And so, yeah. Anyway.
I'd much rather be represented by the evil empire of the Patriots.
Yeah. How evil is it now with I mean, who is the master and who is the teacher? Was it Brady or Belichick? It seems to be Point Brady right now.
Well, Brady has 20 years experience. Cam Newton coming off a shoulder injury, getting COVID, and having no preseason work. I think Belichick did a good job. Plus, with 8 players opting out.
Well, he didn't make the playoffs for one, and two. You can't say the 20 years experience with Brady and not apply the no experience when he first became the quarterback to the team with Belichick at that same At that same time, it's completely different arguments.
Yeah, but see, that's where you're going to do the difference. Is Belichick coached Brady that season, whereas this past season, Bruce Arians was pretty much like, Brady, you coach yourself. Makes it a little easier to adopt the offense.
Which, all right, so that just proves even more that it's Brady over Belichick.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, whatever. Anyway, I'm always going to be the player's side. Let's start with America's pastime, the grand old game of baseball, and your American League East leading Boston Red Sox with a record of 17-12, fresh off a road trip where they did all right. They went 3-3, which is fair, not as good as they had been doing, but still a nice road trip. It's good to see Just Dingers Martinez, JD Martinez, just crushing the ball all over the place. And I especially like that because I have him on my fantasy team. And it is tough having him and Shohei Otani on the same team because I cannot play Otani at all. He's just sitting there on my bench because JD Martinez is so damn good.
You don't put him in your rotation?
Well, he hadn't been starting for a couple weeks. So now that he's starting again, he's actually starting tonight. For anyone that's not familiar, Shohei Otani is like he's the new Babe Ruth. Honestly, the stats he is putting up, he is the first pitcher since Babe Ruth to start a game while leading the league in home runs. That is unheard of. It's unreal. He is historic. This guy. He needs more attention. Everybody needs to know his name.
Problem is, man, baseball needs a bit of a revamp. But no, it's nice, and I love that the new baseball game allows you to be a two-way player.
That was cool. It gave me that option. I started as a third baseman and a pitcher, and I decided, you know what? I don't want to pitch. I just want to be a third baseman. It let me have that option, so I'm just a third baseman now.
See, I always go starting pitcher, so I only have to play at most 35 games a year compared to having to play all 162.
Oh, that's a good idea. I didn't think of it like that. Right, make yourself a closer, and then you're only in like 40 games.
See, the only downside with that, though, is you spend more time loading into the game than you actually do pitching in it, especially if you end up throwing 3 balls and you get 3 pop-ups. It's like, fuck.
Right, yeah, that's true. But no, my first start, like I was hitting my spots. I used the pulse indicator because I like that. And I kept hitting good like almost every time. And they were just hitting singles all over the place. And it was driving me crazy. The first guy to reach base, it was because of an error by me. Because I ran in on the ball and I thought I hit the button to throw, but apparently I hit the button to cancel. So he just held on to the ball and was like, oh, he won. And I'm like, how was that in there? I tried throwing the ball. That wasn't my fault.
I actually had the same thing happen to me.
And then they scored 2 runs after that. And I'm like, come on, man.
All right, man. Let's head on to the next one.
Yeah, on to the next one. On to the Bruins, the Boston Bruins. They are currently in 4th place in their division with 66 points, but they're just 1 point behind 3rd place, like 3 points behind 2nd, and only 5 points out of 1st. So it's really tight there. They've got 2 games on hand of the league leader, so they've got a chance to get 4 points there really and get right close to them.
Good to see they're playing well again.
Yeah, definitely. And then we've got a bit of a disappointing update on the Celtics, just because they're 34-31, and with the talent they have, they really should be so much better. They should be Tatum, Brown, Kemba Walker, and I don't know why they're not playing Taco Fall more. Taco Fall is a beast. He's 7 foot what? 3, it's like 7'3" something. He's ridiculous.
Dude, I think he's 7'5". I mean, Enough the fans want him, man. I
Exactly.
mean, dude,
So
it's
what
just
if
fun
he's
to
so
watch.
lanky? It only takes him like 10 steps to get across the court, and it's uh,
Not, not to mention, at the
anyway.
very least, he'll be the next Brian Scalabrine, the fan favorite that goes in and friggin' finishes off.
Exactly. But they did recently come back from 32 points down in a on a road. No, it was a home game. It was a home game. And also, Jason Tatum became just the second player in Celtics history to score 60 points, joining Larry legend Larry Bird.
Nice.
Considering who's played for that team, that he's the only one to do that with him, that's crazy.
Because the Celtics dominated originally before the 3-point
Right,
line.
yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much the sports update for the week. We got
Oh, you skip over on the Patriots draft in the next franchise quarterback.
well, we already talked about Patriots. It's your or
Oh,
we talked
you
football a
gave
bit.
Brady all the credit.
Go all right, go ahead. You want to talk the draft? Go ahead, talk the draft.
Oh no, that's really all I had. I only watched up to that draft pick, man. I was
Who,
really
Mac
hoping they'd
Jones?
trade up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really hoping they'd trade up for Fields, but I'll take a quarterback. I don't care.
Yeah, I hear good things about him. Trevor Lawrence looks good. I'm excited to see what he does down in Jacksonville. But so yeah,
All right, on to the
on
next, sir.
yes, on to the news of the week. We'll go ahead and start that off. What do we have this week going on?
Oh, I mean, we got a few things going on. Kept most of my news towards the entertainment side. You got AEW starting to challenge the WWE for top spot in
Nomination?
wrestling. Oh no,
Finally.
oh yeah, dude. No, they're over 1 million viewers per week at this point, dude. And I'm telling you right now, dude, I think WWE in its history has had 2 5-star matches. There's friggin' guys in this company that have 4 or 5. Kenny Omega, best wrestler there is today. I'm telling you, if you're gonna watch wrestling, watch that program.
What are those 2 5-star matches?
Kenny Omega has for WWE.
Yes.
Oh God, I do not
Those are
know them off
easily
the top of my
accessible.
head. Hold on, I can check that out right here.
Let's see, because let me give you one of mine. I'm gonna say Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho at WrestleMania. I want to say 30. It might have been earlier than that. It was probably earlier than that, but it was their match at WrestleMania. It's definitely top 3 all time matches.
Oh my God. Okay, so WCW seems to have more 5-star matches.
Yeah, WCW.
So we got SummerSlam, Bret Hart versus Owen Hart.
Okay.
And
What year is that? Is that going to be like 96?
I think it was 99. And then you got.
No, he was dead by then. He died in 97, didn't he?
Yeah, sorry. This is going the opposite way. 94.
94, okay.
And then in
Hart Brothers, of course they're going to put on.
97, you had Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker.
Okay, Michaels and Taker. Wow, Taker with a 5-star match. That's impressive. He's not really known for his skills, more his just pummeling and presence.
You can make a good match with that. And it looks like they also have at least another one, Bret Hart versus Stone Cold at WrestleMania 13.
Yep.
But yeah, Kenny Omega literally has, I think, at least 3 5-star matches with just one single person. Let me see if I can find it here.
While you're looking that up, let me quickly mention something that we're both very excited about as fans of the original series. Dexter coming back. It looks like they finally released the teaser with him coming back through the showing him in the window out somewhere snowy, obviously not where he was lumberjacking, which was just completely all bullshit. I hope they don't even mention it. He's all shaved, looks good, and you can see in the reflection in the window somebody tied up in plastic to to the table like his old self, and he just smiles, and it's good to be back. Anywho, you
So,
yes.
so I have found it. Uh, Actually, I found totals here. The WWE has number of 13 five-star matches. I was off on that one.
Okay.
But Kenny Omega, the wrestler currently leading AEW, has 17 himself, and at least 3 of those, including the highest rated match of all time, New Japan, Omega versus Okada.
Hmm.
I'm telling you, man, Okada, amazing wrestler. Dude,
I believe
New
it.
Japan too. I fell out of wrestling for a long time. Happy that's back.
But yeah, I'll have to try to get back into it too.
All right. So let's see. What else do we got today? Marvel announces the titles of the next phase. 4 movies for 2021. You got Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, and No Way Home. They also got after that Multiverse of Madness, Love and
Oh,
Thunder, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
okay. So I'm going to give you a quick over under for the amount of time that Chris Hemsworth is in Thor: God of Thunder. We're going to go with 12 minutes.
12 minutes. Yeah, I was wondering how long he's going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Well, that's pretty much as Guardians of the Galaxy at this point. So I think he's more with them than he is, um, like with Asgard, obviously, because I mean we know what happened.
True. And to continue it on, after that, we got the Marvels, which is Captain Marvel 2, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum Mania, and then Guardians of the Galaxy 3, the long-awaited film.
Right, and how long have we been waiting for Black Widow? I feel like it's the release date has been pushed like 2 or 3 times already, almost as many as New Mutants.
Yeah, no, I was working at the theater when that was supposed to come out. That was originally supposed to be May of 2020.
Jeez.
Oh, yeah. All that long time ago and an
Right.
odd place.
Uh,
We're still there, but it was just a long time ago during it now.
all right. So why don't we
We got a
go
few
ahead
more
and
here, man.
get into our topic of the day? Now that it seems like the appropriate time. Now our topic of this week: top 5 movie reboots or remakes, as decided by us. These are purely our opinion and our way of just starting a dialogue. We're gonna let you know what we think. We want you to let us know what you think. Now, with no further ado, I'll start this off with my number 5. This may come as a surprise to a lot of people. It is definitely not critically acclaimed. It's actually kind of roasted as one of the worst reboots, but I love it. It hit me at the right time. It came out when I was probably 10, I think it was. This is Lost in Space.
An amazing movie.
Came out, I think it was 98. Yes,
98 or
98.
97. It was when Matt LeBlanc was at his height with Friends, man.
Exactly. The cast in this is ridiculous. You got Matt LeBlanc, you've got William Hurt, Heather Graham, Mimi Rogers, and let's not forget the star, the Dr. Smith, Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman, this is probably my second movie I remember seeing Gary Oldman in. I think I saw The Fifth Element before this. And he inspired one of my catchphrases for a while, because he would say, "Never fear, Smith is here." So of course I would say, "Never fear, Zick is here." So obviously panned, did not get great reviews. People did not like the way it treated its source material, but one of the writers was from the original series, which I didn't realize, so I was looking into it. Directed by Stephen Hopkins. It had a budget of an estimated $80 million. Its opening weekend, it made just over 20 million, which made about a quarter of it back, which isn't that great. And then its gross in the US was only 69 million, but people around the world seem to like it because it wound up making 136 million. So it made its money back. I believe there was talks of a sequel at one point, just because of how much money it wound up making. But I think the critics just were like, no, don't do it.
Which is so sad. There's also another actor in there who gets a very small part, but he's epic in it, and that's Jared Harris
Yes,
playing the
yes, I was going to mention
older.
him.
Yep,
Yep,
playing the older Will Robinson.
yep.
Oh, he looks so young in that role, but oh, he's
I
so
know,
good.
and he became somebody that I like started seeing everywhere. It's like, oh, look who it is! Look who it is! But I think like him as Moriarty is probably his best role.
Yeah, oh yeah.
All right, what's your number five?
My number 5 is The Woman in Black, the 2012 remake of the 1989 movie that also is based off the book of the same name. I mean, this thing's got Daniel Radcliffe in it. I mean, he's the main star. It's got Molly Harmon,
Heard of it?
a couple
Haven't
other
seen it.
people. I gotta say, I mean, it's extremely creepy, very suspenseful, and it's just one of those that sticks with you. It's surprising for a PG-13 horror movie, which
That's
are
probably why
usually
I didn't
pretty
see
much those are usually teen traps.
it.
You have no idea how many customers have come out friggin' adults, and it's just like, all those kids are talking in there. And it's like, yes, opening night of a PG-13 horror movie. They can't
Right.
get into the rated R one. But this movie was wicked good for a PG-13 horror. It's definitely worth a watch. I mean,
Okay.
basically, Daniel Radcliffe heads to an estate. If I remember correctly, he heads to an estate that, let me see here. But basically, he goes to this house. It's set, 20th century England. Follows a young widower who's Daniel Radcliffe, travels to a remote village where he discovers a vengeful ghost of a scorned woman who's terrorizing locals. It's good. It's good. Worth the watch.
All right, yeah, I'll have to give that a watch. So I'll go ahead and hit you with. Actually, no. Why don't you go ahead and give number 4? We'll kind of do a serpentine.
My
Serpentine
number
like a
4.
draft.
May the 4th be with you.
It's tomorrow. Star
Yes.
Wars Day tomorrow. Not to date this, but yeah, tomorrow is Star Wars Day.
And the Bad
Also
Batch.
known as Cinco de Cuatro.
And the Bad
Arrested
Batch, dude.
Development fans.
Tomorrow's a good day. All right. So my number 4, I Am Legend.
Okay.
Stars with Will Smith. And basically Will Smith.
Right.
Does
And the
have Willow
dog.
Smith in it. Oh, yeah. No, you cannot forget about the dog because we'll get to that. Made in 2007. It's actually a remake of 2 separate movies. Last Man on Earth, 1965, and The Omega Man, 1971. I have not seen either of those, but I have seen I Am Legend. Epic movie, post-apocalyptic, Will Smith going around, pretty much the only known survivor of this virus. Everything else is basically like a vampire monster thing that wants to rip you apart. Amazing movie, emotional. One of Will Smith's best roles. And the movie that ultimately taught me it is much sadder to see a dog die on screen than thousands of people.
Yep. 100%. The dogs don't deserve it. People
No.
do.
Yeah, it's much easier to justify.
People are bad.
It's like maybe there was bad people there. No one's going to say maybe he was a bad dog. No one's going to say that.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'll go ahead and bring up my number 4 now. My number 4 is from the 1980s classic starring Rick Moranis. This is Little Shop of Horrors, the musical. Of course, I had to have a musical on here.
Yes, you did.
I wasn't.
I'm surprised
exactly
they're not
sure.
all musicals.
Hey, it could have been. I almost went A Star Is Born, the most recent one, Lady Gaga, Bradley Cooper. I love that movie. It gets me every single time. I've watched it probably like 6 or 7 times, and every time it gets me.
I got to change my list.
Yeah.
I forgot a musical remake.
Right.
I'm throwing it in at number
You don't-
3.
You don't need to have one on there, but I mean,
Oh no! Well, I completely forgot it was a remake, and it's probably my favorite movie of all
it's
time.
been made like 3 different times.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Uh,
That's gonna be my new number 3.
yeah. So yeah, this is Little Shop of Horrors. This is Rick Moranis stars as Seymour Krauboyne, which is just a great role for him. The song "Suddenly Seymour" that he sings with Audrey is one of my most favorite musical theater songs of all time. So basically, what happens is this nobody kid Seymour works at this flower shop for Mr. Mudnick. Mudnick. Uh,
And
and
bad people in musicals never have good names.
no, and it also has Bill Murray as the just this guy who just wants to be tortured by Steve Martin, who plays the dentist, who is this just masochistic bastard that beats his girlfriend. His girlfriend is Audrey, who Seymour is in love with, who also works at the flower shop, and all he wants to do is take her away from the bad guy and give her a great life, and that uh, I mean, he's a good guy. He's working all his life. He's never made it. He's been. Or, sorry, I'm getting all over the place.
He's the dude that you want to see
He's an orphan.
win.
He's an orphan. He's raised on the streets. He finally gets a job at this flower shop. He's treated like dirt, and there's this total eclipse of the sun, and he winds up finding this Venus flytrap, and it's like, oh, this thing's kind of neat. And he puts it in the window at the shop, and it brings up business. Like all of a sudden, business is booming, all because people want to come see that flower, and he winds up having to feed it blood to make it grow, and gets too big, has to kill people. So of course, anyway, it's a great movie. I recommend it. Great music, hilarious. The estimated budget on this one was $25 million. It made only $3 million its opening weekend, just under 4. And its total gross, though, in the U.S., it wound up making a lot of money. It made $38 million. So it definitely made its money back. Not a ton, but it's a cult classic, directed by Frank Oz. And yeah. And I'll go ahead and hit you with my number 3. My number 3, this one, everybody knows this movie. Set in Boston. This is Massachusetts accents gone wild.
You gotta say everyone.
Mark Wahlberg and Matt Damon, Leo DiCaprio, Martin Sheen. If you haven't guessed yet, this is The Departed.
Jack Nicholson too. You can't forget about the Jack Nicholson, man.
Oh, Jack in this movie, and what's his name? Cousin Eddie from Grounded for Life.
That's right. He was good in that one.
I love that guy. He's been in a lot of things.
That's my favorite movie, to just sit down with a nice Sam Adams and just all night I'll watch that movie.
I mean, this is a movie about cops and people who think they want to be cops. And let's not forget Anthony Anderson. He's in this movie as well.
Yeah.
Before he started losing weight. Like, he looks great now. I don't know if you watch Blackish. Anthony Anderson looks amazing.
No, he's doing good, man. Oh, actually, you seen Mark Henry lately, the former wrestler?
Oh yeah.
Dude's dropped 80 pounds, man.
Right? Oh, it's good to see these people doing good right now.
Oh yeah.
But this was Martin Scorsese. This was surprisingly the first time that he won Best Director. Can you believe that? Or was it Best? Yeah.
Was it Best Director or Best Film?
Picture?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, this won Best Picture, and it was his first one that actually won Best Picture.
You want to hear something funny about this, man? Beth, who once told me Jurassic Park is PG-13, and I was about 12. Yeah. I don't think you're old enough to watch this. Took me to see the rated R Departed at 15.
I mean, and it starts right off. Like, Because Jack Nicholson, right in the beginning, he plays obviously the Whitey Bulger type character, and Matt Damon plays his protege, his rat that winds up going to work for the Mass State Police, and Leo DiCaprio plays the cop that goes and infiltrates Nicholson's gang, Costello's gang, and just the story is it's one that's been told so many times of trying to find the rat, trying to find the mole, trying to find the guy hiding on either side, and not showing your true identity to anyone, not really being able to lead a real life. It's been told so many times, but the way these actors are able to get the emotions out of it.
There is one person that steals the show in this movie. All of them are terrific.
Vera?
But Mark Wahlberg, no, he's got such a short part too. But oh my God, the angry cop. Captain F-bomb, and he nails it.
Oh yeah, I mean, one of the first. What is it? Martin Sheen asks Leo DiCaprio, "Do you know what we do here?" He goes, "Sir, I have some idea." And Wahlberg just goes, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! You have no idea, all right? Just say you have no idea and leave it at that. If you had any idea what we do, we would be cunts. You calling us cunts?" And from there,
right, his tone is set.
Yeah.
Plus, ultimately, hero in the end of that film too.
Oh, and Alec Baldwin, his performance. I love him in it.
Who isn't in that movie?
Right. Everybody's in it. You got Baldwin and Vera Farmiga. We got to mention her. She is incredible in this. She plays the psychiatrist that Leo goes to see.
She's terrific in almost every role. Oh my God, that's the actress I've been trying to think of for like a month. Well, I got to say that to the wife later.
So yeah, this had a budget of $90 million. It made 26, just under 27. Its opening weekend had a U.S. gross of 132 million, but it made worldwide 291 million. That's almost 200 million it made over its estimated budget. So this is, I believe, easily Scorsese's most profitable film.
Which isn't saying much these days with the likes of billion-dollar movies, but extremely successful for any film.
Oh yeah. So yeah, your number 3.
Originally, it was going to be Scarface,
the
remake.
It's not.
Dude, it's so good. It's so good, especially for a remake. It's absolutely amazing.
We'll debate that another time.
But so I have switched it up to a musical that, as you have stated, has been remade several times. Les Mis.
There you go.
Saw this on opening night with you. Christmas night. So good. We were with your parents who fell asleep in the theater. It was a good time. I mean, goddamn.
I always remember when people fall asleep.
Oh yeah, you falling asleep during Revenge of the Sith?
Shut up. Keep going.
You and your brother. Oh my God, I will never forget that moment. You will never live that down. So
5 minutes. Shut up.
I mean, I
remember everything about that night.
Yeah, because you've seen the movie 100 times now.
Shut up. Keep going.
So, I mean, I've always liked musicals. You've introduced me to them several times, and they're good. This was, I mean, maybe because it's got the tale of revenge in it too. In a way, I like rebellion. I like revolution. It's needed sometimes. And this was perfect for it. I love the French Revolution. The only thing missing in here was friggin' Robespierre trying to kill himself with a gun and really just shooting himself through the mouth. And it's a funny time. You should read up on the history of that. But anyway, it stars Hugh Jackman, Russell Crowe, Anne Hathaway, Amanda Seyfried, Sacha Baron Cohen, Helena Bonham Carter, Eddie Redmayne, and a bunch of others. Those are just the top ones, which are the top 7. It's obviously the story of Jean Valjean, man who stole some bread, spent like 30 years in prison.
No.
No?
He was sentenced to 5 years in prison, and in his last year, he tried to escape. So they added on another 15 to make it 20. So that's on him. It's all on him. If he had just done his time, he was in the last year of his time, he would have been fine. But no, he goes and tries to escape. Sorry, I have many thoughts on this, and one of them is Javert is the true hero of Les Mis, and that is how I will always feel. Continue.
Here's a curveball for you, man. Then you believe in minimum sentences for drug possession.
I'm not.
I'm just saying, man. For stealing a loaf of bread,
Hey,
5 years is a lot of time.
it is. But hey, he was doing his time, and that's what the sentence was. You can complain about it beforehand, afterwards, all that. But while you're doing the time, do the time. Don't try to escape. That's what makes everything worse.
I would have done the same thing. But yeah, Russell Crowe, Javert, is basically his parole officer who chases him down throughout the film. He adopts a young girl named Cassette, who he raises extremely well. Hugh Jackman is just brilliant. And the best part about this movie is it was really like the first movie where they actually let them sing on set and not like a record afterward, as it is just one solo shot throughout the whole thing. They don't change it. It's a moving camera.
They made sure to show their mouths moving. To make sure that you knew that they were singing.
And how many people got nominated for this film? I mean,
2.
Friggin' Anne Hathaway's in it for like 5 minutes, and she got nominated for Best Actress. That's, I mean, the song,
Supporting
I don't remember
actress.
the exact name. Yeah, the
she
song
won.
that she sang, amazing.
I Dreamed a Dream. That
Yes.
song is pretty much it's fun. They're like pretty much like 3 or 4 actresses, I want to say, in the past 15 years that have won an Oscar pretty much based on singing one song, and it's incredible. The emotion that they're able to put into that single performance and be able to earn. I mean, obviously she does way more than one song, but
Is that
you think
that
of her in
song
that,
wins
and
you the Oscar?
I Dream of it. Yeah. Got a cat behind me. Cat behind me.
Yeah, I'll be having that issue soon. But yeah, as a huge fan of Rebellion, Revolution, don't remember really so much, I guess, revenge in this film, but I love revenge films. Count of Monte Cristo, watch that. It takes a long time, but it's worth it in the end.
Thenardiers, they're trying to get revenge because they think that Valjean robbed him.
That's true.
For Cosette.
But it's an amazing movie. If you like musicals, check it out. If you don't like musicals, check it out. Just check it out.
Definitely. One of my favorites. I've seen it so many times. All right. Your number 2?
My number 2 is from 1999, The Mummy.
Oh, all right. I almost had this on my list.
The remake of the 1932 film of the same title.
My honorable mentions.
And basically, it's set in the early, I believe, 1920s. Bunch of people trying to basically search out artifacts in Egypt, come across a tomb, unleash a curse, brings about an undead mummy, and then hunts down those that open the tomb, takes their organs, and reanimates himself.
That old chestnut.
Yeah, let's just say for a movie that was rated PG-13, just him changing up alone is creepy as hell. The part where the scarab comes out the cheek into the mouth and he bites it.
Mm-hmm. Emotep.
I love it. But I got to say, to sell this movie, I think all I really need to say is Brendan Fraser.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel Weisz is good, but I mean, Brendan Fraser, although he hasn't been in anything in a long time, he's got a lot of crap over the years. The man nailed this perfectly between the seriousness and the comedy. I mean, honestly, if you could have handed over Indiana Jones to anybody in the early 2000s, it would have been Brendan Fraser.
The man is a hero, and everything that he's gone through is just an inspiration. I feel so bad for everything that he went through, but I'm glad he's seemingly on the other side of it.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll get to see some good movies from him in the future, because highly underrated actor.
Could not agree more. All right, so I'll go ahead. If you're done with that.
No, that's it for me on that one.
Okay,
amazing movie, good CGI still today.
My number 2 is probably the best Western. Best Western. My favorite
For
Western.
Motel 6, but
My favorite Western of the last, hell, of all time. My favorite Western of all time. And that is 310 to Yuma. This also has Russell Crowe, so we've got some Russell Crowe crossover. Christian Bale in this as well. Russell Crowe plays this notorious outlaw that just is known for robbing. Were the Pinkmans? That's what the old.
I
old
mean,
security.
I haven't looked back on it, but if Red Dead Redemption got it right, it's the Pinkertons.
Pinkertons. That's it. Pinkertons. Sorry. Yeah,
Those
Jesse
bastards.
Pinkman. Yeah, Pinkertons.
I've
Known
taken
for
out so many of them over the years.
robbing the Pinkertons, and Christian Bale is just this poor farmer. He lives on this ranch with his family. He's got two or three kids, and a wife, and he can barely afford the place anymore. He's about to lose the land, and one night one of his horses winds up getting in the mess with one of the robberies with Russell Crowe, and he can't afford to lose any of it, so he's just trying to get his horse back and trying to get any kind of compensation for it that he can. And
There's good money then. Back then, horse thieves got hung.
oh yeah, but he would always Russell Crowe would always get away. He was the villain of that time in this particular film. So
Villains don't always get away, man.
well,
Look
clearly
at Van
not in
Dillen.
this movie, because what happens is he does get caught, and he needs to be placed on this train, and it's at 3:10 the next day to Yuma to be put in front of the judge and hanged and everything. But he needs to be brought to the train station, and the Pinkertons wind up offering Christian Bale a bunch of money to see him to make sure he gets to the train station. And what happens is just incredible. The story that they wind up going on, the journey that they go on, because there's an escape at one point and they need to track him down. And this is all just so Bale can save his family, really. It's not even about the justice part of it. It's more just, I need to save my family.
Yep. So those kind of movies drive you, though. It gives you not enough character development these days. You don't care so much about them, but those kind of movies still do it.
They spoke to each other, because they weren't just set characters either. Like they grew. They learned to communicate with each other. The character development is top of the heap on this one. This had this was directed by James Mangold. This had an estimated budget of $55 million. Being a Western, it didn't make a ton of money. It made $14 million its opening weekend. Gross USA is just under $54 million. But it did make $70 million worldwide. So it did make its money back, and was ultimately a hit. And was almost like amid that kind of resurgence of Westerns too. Like it was around the same time of Brad Pitt's the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, which also has one of the longest name titles in movie history. Were you working at the theater for that one? Because I bet that would have been fun to see on the marquee.
No.
All right, so here we are, finally down to our number one picks. I will go first. This was a surprise hit for me. I did not see it in theaters. I wish I had, because everything about it is perfection. The cast it's unreal. The cast, let me just name some of these. We got Bernie Mac, Casey Affleck, Julia Roberts, Andy Garcia. We've got let's jump ahead to Matt Damon, Brad Pitt. Anyone able to guess yet?
The world needs Bernie Mac back.
George Clooney. I'm talking Ocean's 11. The ultimate reboot of a movie.
We'll see about that.
Well, this is Steven Soderbergh's classic. Came out in 2001, in December of 2001. So this was shortly after the events of September 11th. So the world needed something like this to kind of take your minds off of everything. It's escapism at its finest, because it gives you that fantasy of robbing a Las Vegas casino and actually getting away with it. Because
so smoothly too. It's one thing to like do the whole shootout and run. It's so much more satisfying to do the walkout.
The style that they go through and the planning and everything. Oh, let's not forget. Elliot Gould. That's his name. Elliot Gould. Carl Reiner.
Oh my god, dude!
Carl Reiner as Saul is just so good.
I think it's that movie that makes me love Grand Theft Auto 5 so much more. I love those heists.
Oh yeah, right. This really was our generation's introduction to the heist genre, really, because it came out. I was 14, so that's just the right time to really start getting into something like this.
Oh yeah.
You've got Danny Ocean, played by George Clooney. He's in jail to start with for, of course, stealing, and he wants to get back at the man who he feels stole his wife from him while he was in prison, who happens to own 3 Las Vegas casinos, and he develops this plan all while he's in prison to rob those casinos. He constructs a team of 10 other people, or of 9 people, and then the other ones are Terry's the 11th. Anyway, the numbers are confusing, but anyway, Ocean's 11 remake of the Frank Sinatra classic with I can't speak. Hey, slow down. Frank Sinatra and why can't I think of his name? Dean Martin. That's his name. Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., the whole Rat Pack. And obviously this made so much money that it inspired not 1 but 2 sequels. Actually, I mean 3, really. Ocean's 8, which just recently came out. I need to see that. I actually haven't seen it yet.
I think it's on HBO.
But no, this had a budget of $85 million, made $38 million its opening weekend, $183 million US, gross worldwide $450 million, just under $500 million for this movie worldwide. It's
damn. That's really good for that type of movie.
Exactly. I think 12 and 13 did, if not as well, pretty damn close. And 12 is a bit of a misfire. I do love the bit in 12 though, where Julia Roberts winds up playing Julia Roberts.
Yep.
Pretending to be her and just winds up messing everything up, doesn't know that she's left-handed and has a weird accent, runs into Bruce Willis and is all flustered like, oh my God, it's Bruce Willis. But you're supposed to know him. You're best friends with him. It's hilarious. But no, I can't recommend Ocean's 11 enough.
It definitely is a good one, man.
Let's hear your number 1. What is the ultimate reboot?
Well, I actually want to throw in an honorable mention here before we go.
We'll do the honorable mentions after.
All right, because I got some funny facts on this one. My number 1, the ultimate reboot ever, because it ends all the campiness that came before it and really captures what is truly the dark depths of Gotham. Batman Begins,
Okay.
The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. I mean, don't get me wrong. Earlier Batman films, very entertaining.
Wait. Are you cheating right here?
How am I cheating?
You're picking 3
No,
for the
I'm just
number
saying
1 spot?
that was the start of it.
Okay.
That was the start of it. But Batman films always been entertaining. Always had odd stuff. You know, costumes with nipples, 3 different
Clooney.
actors playing Batman in a 3-movie span. But this movie, Christian Bale, amazing. Christopher Nolan, amazing. Directing, amazing. Heath Ledger, unforgettable. Bane, unforgettable. And honestly, it started the idea of the dark Batman, which continued with Affleck. Will now be continuing with Robert Patterson. Don't know how that movie looks, but I love the soundtrack and the trailer. But I love Nirvana. But that to me is the ultimate reboot. It takes something that for so long was campy. I mean, you're talking about, they hit somebody in the face and the thing pops up.
Pow!
Bam! Yeah. I mean, and it takes that and it really grabs what a lot of the comics already had, Like it takes you to that bad place, It's not just, it's all fun and games. Look at the penguin. Look at turns everyone to ice. I mean, technically as a kid, you wouldn't really understand the idea of Arnold Schwarzenegger freezing people to death, but definitely more realistic and just grittier.
Chill.
Plus, I absolutely love how in the second movie they address the fact that Batman's cowl does not turn.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the greatest line, what can you do? Well, I could use some lighter plating. Anything else? It'd be nice if I could turn my head.
Yeah. I want to be able to see when I back out of the driveway.
So great, too, because, I mean, like right there, the scene before that, he's taking on all these people. The car's driving away, and he's got to turn the right direction, and you would just say...
Right. They're still able to find some humor in it.
I mean, the best head movement acting until The Mandalorian in the last season.
Yeah.
You're used to looking at things in your helmet. You're not looking down like this. I mean, yeah.
I mean, you didn't even mention Liam Neeson, Ra's al Ghul.
Oh my God, you go through the whole cast. I mean,
Morgan
Liam
Freeman.
Neeson, Morgan Freeman.
Lucius.
What's the guy that played Alfred? I can't remember the name. It's drawn
Michael
a blank.
Caine.
Michael Caine. We drove by his house in Hollywood.
Yes, we did. The Beverly Hills.
Oh God, that was a nice little area there.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, holy shit. I mean, the cast is amazing. It really is what Batman should be.
Marion Cotillard, Tom Hardy.
Dude, everyone gives that last one saying it's not as good, but Tom Hardy's performance in that was amazing.
People who say that it's not as good were not there to experience it when it first arrived.
You merely adopted the dock. I was born in it, raised by it.
I didn't see another foot until I was 17.
Plus, dude, follows the comics so well. Batman being taken out of commission in the third one with the back breaking, following the comic like that.
Breaking his back.
Yeah, dude.
No, I don't disagree. That is a great movie, and I almost had it on here. I debated heavily putting a comic book movie on here. I almost went with one of the new Spider-Mans because Spider-Man's my favorite apart from Invincible. I'd say Spider-Man's my favorite mainstream superhero.
Oh yeah.
But honestly, I think Tobey Maguire's like Spider-Man 1 and 2, like those are still probably my favorite, so I wouldn't put the Tom Holland one over it.
Yeah.
What are some of your honorable mentions? Because that's one of mine there.
I would say Spider-Man. Of course, mine is the Tobey Maguire. But the one that I was thinking of before my number one was Mortal Kombat.
Mm-hmm.
The new movie. Definitely a better movie overall than the 1995 one. But I feel like the 1995 one, and I might be biased, just has that spark. It's got the tournament, and I understand the new one's probably building to one, but if it is, you can definitely tell it's the first movie in a series.
What? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say the interesting facts that I have is the director Paul W.S. Anderson, at least up until 2018, according to this, was still paying fines for his unauthorized Ghost Rider cameo when Scorpion took off his mask, revealing a skull and then breathed fire on Johnny Cage. And the other one, I've been trying to find if I can verify this. I've found a couple articles that seem to point to it, but I've been trying to find something more solidified. And that is originally the actor who was going to play Liu Kang was Jackie Chan
In the original?
in the 1995
Oh,
one.
okay.
Yeah.
I think I had heard that as well, but I think he didn't want to do it or something like that.
Well, according to this, he was cast, and the first day of filming was complete. Chan went to the guy who played Shang Tsung. I am terrible with names, but
He's a great. I actually
he-
met him.
he's an amazing actor.
I
But
met
at least
him at Rhode Island Comic Con.
nice. Yeah, at least according to this, basically Shang Tsung invited in Liu Kang for a drink in his trailer after shooting. And at least according to this, Chan was a recovering alcoholic, had kind of fallen off the wagon after Legend of Drunken Master, another amazing Jackie Chan movie.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently they ended up getting into a fight after a couple drinks, and this actually led. Here's the funny part of the story. You remember Kano in this movie? He's got the thing over his eye
yeah.
with the red thing. Apparently, according to this article, that's because he tried to break up the fight between Jackie Chan and Liu Kang and ended up getting kicked in the face, messing up his right eye so bad in the middle of filming. This is why they had to add the red plate and ion.
But Kano had that.
He did, but I guess they weren't, at least according to this, they weren't originally going to be putting that in the film, or maybe they just expanded on it. But
I don't know if I buy it.
that's why I want to see if I can find it out. But according to this, it's the reason he was fired after this, so he was only on set for a day. It's an interesting piece to know, especially as a huge Jackie Chan fan. I was even watching Rush Hour earlier, but it's something I want to find out about, because honestly, I always wondered. See, I always wondered why he was never cast in that role. So I want to know if it's true. Because yeah, shit happens sometimes, man. Dude's an amazing actor. He would have been great in it.
I know, but I don't buy the part with Kano anyway.
Oh, dude, speaking of which, the new Kano in the new movie.
He's from so much fun.
He is from the show Superstore.
Okay.
He speaks with an American accent. He is a pharmacist, bit of a womanizer, and a completely different character, showing you the range of this man's acting. If you loved Kano in the new Mortal Kombat, check out Superstore. It's a comedy.
What
and let alone, you'll love that.
What bugged me about it is that they finally had like a fight on top of a pit, but they didn't use the pit. Like they didn't uppercut anybody into it and like have them all dismembered on the bottom like you would in the games. Like you have the spot there. You even like you got the moon out over it and everything. Like this is right from the game. Use the pit.
I gotta say, man, I had watched the original 1995 one like the day before I watched the new one, and I had watched it with my wife. And obviously, in that one, you hear quite a lot, flawless victory.
Yeah.
And you have to hear that.
Yeah.
As soon as it's said in that new one, I just threw my arms up like this, and she's just sitting there with like a smile on her face, like, you knew you had to throw it in, and then kind of looks over at me with my arms up like the fool I am.
But then I was wondering, I was like, but didn't he get hit? I think he got hit. That was the time to say like fatality because he cut the guy in friggin' half with his hat. I would have said fatality, not flawless victory.
I felt the same way.
Right?
But I was kind of just so happy to hear the line. But yeah, on the level of Mortal Kombat, no. I mean, I think the only flawless victory, too, in the first one, though, was actually the Goro versus the Boxer.
Right. Oh, yeah.
That was a bad one. That dude got wrecked. But yeah, that's my main honorable mention. You?
All right. Well, I believe that that about does it for what we came here to discuss for the week. We got through everything. It was definitely painless. Going forward, I think this is a good way of doing it. This seems to be easiest. We'll get the cord figured out for your microphone next time so you can sound crisp like me. I've got another, like, if you need an actual, are you just using the webcam like on the laptop or something, or?
Yeah. I was originally going to set it up on my phone, but this seemed way easier.
Well, I've got another webcam you can try because like maybe we can get some higher quality.
I think I just got to position myself better. Unfortunately, the place that I'm in, still setting up, there's only actually one light installed in the ceiling. Everything else has to be
Right.
plugged in.
Well, maybe we'll get together for the next one anyway and have more guests next time. We'll see. We can discuss what do we want to do for the next topic.
Okay.
Figure that out now, or
Yes. No. I think we should. So here are my choices, and I know you didn't want to go negative, but people love negative. So I'm going to start with worst reboots, best toys of the '90s, Disney villains, Netflix shows. I don't know why I had best donuts written on here, but it's on there.
I mean, top 5 don't. That is, I don't know if I could do just 5.
God, that one's apparently harder than I think. But yeah,
yeah. I mean,
you
there's
got any
purple in some
suggestions?
donuts. Purple's a fruit.
Yeah, there was a tie-dye donut that we saw a picture of the other day.
No,
Billy
that's a
sent us.
bagel. I've had
that was
I've
a
had those
bagel?
rainbow bagels.
That
They're
looks
okay.
so
They're
much
just
like a donut.
they're plain bagels. They're okay. They're just plain bagels, so they just happen to be tie dyed, so they're okay. But anyway, out of those, so what
Roll a
about?
dice on it if you want.
Well, let's see. How many suggestions was that?
I mean, I got 5 there.
Hold on. How about
but
you
we could
put
probably
up
drop
3?
best
I'll put up
donuts.
3, and we'll roll a d6.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So what are your 3 you're going to put up?
Worst reboots,
Okay.
toys of the '90s,
Okay.
and let's go Disney villains.
Okay. Villains will be 5.
Yeah, spread those
Worst
out.
reboots will be 3, and 1 will be, what was the other one?
Toys of the '90s.
All
Best
right, 1
toys
will
of
be
the
Toys
'90s.
of the 90s. All right, 2 will be 2 will be top Tarantino characters.
That's a
From
good
the
one.
Tarantino verse. We'll go ahead and get right into it. Top Pokemon will be 4, and 6 will be top summer foods.
That's an interesting one.
All right, here we go. Roll a d6.
You got an actual D6 or you're using it on the computer?
I'm doing a computer. I don't have dice with me here.
Yeah, I should have brought mine down.
All right, roll the thing.
Easily what could be called a dice goblin.
Site can't be reached. Well, reload and roll it. 3.
You wrote those
3
down.
was the worst reboot. You got your worst. All right, so we're going from best to worst. There we go.
Oh, this one's going to be so
we're
fun. I
still
already
not,
got Charlie and the
we're still not
Chocolate
including
Factory.
parodies, though.
No, I got Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That's more than likely 1 or 2. Easily 1 or 2.
You will have some debate on that one.
Oh, yeah, I can't touch
Wait,
Gene
did that?
Wilder,
Oh,
man.
it didn't actually roll.
We should do Best Westerns, though,
Hold
sometime.
on. It didn't actually roll. It was just the page opening. Like it just was sitting there. It didn't actually roll. Here, let me share it so you can actually see what I'm doing here.
I want to let's make sure this is fair.
Here we go. Ready to see it?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Give me 3 again. Give me 3 again.
6.
Was Best Summer Foods?
No, 6. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it was. I thought it was yours first. Yeah, okay. So summer foods. No, we'll do the best to worst, and then number 3 will be
Best Summer Foods.
That one, yes. All right.
I'll have to do worst summer foods after that.
Worst.
Then worst summer foods after that.
Anything with mustard.
Anything heavy.
Yeah.
Way too humid in New England.
All right. So that concludes this episode of the Pop 5 podcast. And anything else to say before we go? You want to sign off?
I mean, I started it with hello there. I guess I'll end it with General Kenobi.
And
I'll think of a sign
I will
off at some
say,
point.
all right, Ramblers, let's get rambling.